Why do we want social acceptance? Does it really matter if we fit in? And who are we really trying to impress? Let's see if we can find out. Hi friends, Daz again, hope you're well.
Hey baby.
Thanks for coming back, thanks for joining me and following me and all the good groovy stuff. I make daily-ish videos on mental health, personal development, everything in the middle of that, which is all the crazy, strange, weird stuff that's going on in my head, to help you to change your mind, change your life. And if you want to follow me on my journey, don't forget to smash the arse out of that subscribe button. Now, the very fact that I have this YouTube channel and I'm making these videos has to some degree an element of wanting social acceptance. And not just from the superficial perspective of looking at the numbers and subscribers and views and all that stuff, but also from the point of being accepted and having credibility in my niche of mental health and personal development.
Excuse me, but is this one of those stories where this special friend of yours turns out to be yoga?
Now, I have to balance my own egotistical needs, merch soon, along with the greater need for creating good content. And that can often be quite a challenge to get those two in the right balance.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So why do we really need to fit in? Why do we feel that need, that urge to fit in?
I guess we'll never know.
Well, aside from us being tribal, and I've talked about this many times, and there's a video up here and you can see more about it, I found a strange phenomenon that exists around this subject, and it's quite strange, which I guess is why it's a strange phenomenon, which is not an easy word to say either. Phenomenon. It's a bit like Melanie.
What?
Just as a side point, if your name is Melanie and you're watching, welcome. Thank you for watching. The name Melanie, when the baby was born, the parents thought this baby looks quite like a melon, so we're going to call it Melanie because it's quite melony. Just want to leave you with that one there.
Wait, what?
Anyway, back to reality. As I said, it's all the crazy that's in my head. Melanie, phenomenon, whatever. Right, getting back to the point. Fitting in makes us feel comfortable, safe and accepted. So the more accepted and comfortable and safe we feel in a social environment, ultimately the inner happiness that we gain from that has a natural positive effect on our mental health.
That's really interesting.
However, since we are all individual and 100% unique, or you could say 1037% unique, there is also something inside of us, to varying degrees, that actually makes us want to stand out from the crowd and be different and be unusual and not just fitting in the same as everybody else. And it's this dichotomy, yep, big brain words coming up today, that also needs social acceptance. So it's all quite odd, and I can now literally hear you saying,
But Daz, what the actual are you talking about?
that's a fair question, to be honest, because I didn't really explain it or say it in the best, most coherent way. So let me try and explain it or put it a better way.
Good. Mighty good.
Now, we want to fit in, and from that fitting in, gain some social acceptance. That's fairly normal. We also want, to some degree, to be individual and stand out, but also in a socially acceptable way. So ultimately, however we want to live our lives, the overwhelming factor in this is the need for social acceptance. Now let me know in the comments, do you like to fit in and just blend into the crowd, or do you like to stand out? And if you like this kind of video and want to see more and follow my journey, as I said, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment, and all the other groovy stuff, and I'll be most grateful for it. And you get loads of good luck and stuff, and of course Clive.
The most ridiculous request.
Now, I've discovered that the amount of people that suffer with social awkwardness and social anxiety symptoms is a lot more than I thought. And that made me take an honest look at myself. Something that most people don't believe when I say it is that I'm actually painfully very shy, which makes me ultimately an introvert. But I'm also very comfortable in certain social situations. No matter how big, being on stage, anything like that, I'm very comfortable with those. So that makes me an extrovert. But what I discovered when looking at this whole thing is actually I'm an extroverted introvert. So there's nothing I like more than being in a social situation, and if you know me, being incredibly annoyingly loud and bouncy and jumpy and all that kind of good stuff. But then there's nothing better than just to go home and be alone with peace and quiet. It's just the best thing. That's probably why being a YouTuber suits me really well, because whilst this is a kind of social thing and it's projecting my mind on the world in an international way and creating content that I want to share with the world and you guys, it's also a very, very soul job, if you like. To me, the camera, the computer, and that's it. There's nobody else involved in the process. And so it's like the perfect thing to do if you are introverted, because it's just you. So my own quest for social acceptance and what I'm doing has sort of highlighted to me how important that factor is in the bigger scheme of things and with most people. Now, another great example I want to share with you is, of course, the amazing Gemma Stone. And one of the reasons why she's such an inspiration is her energy, her vibe, if you like.
There. Now you can be happy.
In a world that seems just obsessed with drama constantly, Gemma doesn't live her life in that way. She doesn't get involved in drama. She doesn't take on that kind of negativity. And as such, her inner happiness and contentment just radiates out. And that's hugely, hugely powerful. And this is a classic example of being individual by not getting involved in all the drama and stuff, because that inner happiness, that inner contentment that she radiates out makes her someone that you want to be around, and makes her someone, has said, has this great energy and this great vibe.
Yay!
Which is incredibly socially acceptable. By being individual and true and honest and authentic, that is also socially acceptable. So that's the weird dichotomy, as I said. Big words, big brain. So what I think we could take from Gemma is having that self-acceptance of who we truly are, what we want and why we want it, will generate an inner happiness and contentment that will then radiate outwards.
Yes, sir, I like it.
And the external manifestation of that is so socially acceptable, it's mind-blowing. Now, if of course we're trying to impress people with the idea that that's going to make us more socially acceptable, that's going to inevitably fail, because we're not being ourselves, we're not being authentic or honest. In this case, all we'll be doing is spouting a pile of in order for us to look good, which definitely isn't socially acceptable, even if it feels like a good idea at the time. So to sum up, the best thing we can do to gain the most social acceptance is not to try and fit in and be like everybody else, but rather embrace and accept your true self, the authentic, honest you.
Isn't it delightful?
And that acceptance will lead to true inner contentment and happiness, which will then radiate outwards and gain you an amazing amount of social acceptance, because you are being you, authentic, and the real you. So that's it for today. A little bit shorter video than normal, but I hope you got some value from it. It's a tricky one to discuss social acceptability, because there's an argument to say, well, you don't have to be accepted by people, be yourself. But the irony is, by being yourself and being true and honest and authentic, you will be accepted socially as such an amazing, radiating energy person like the lovely Gemma Stone. So if you've got some value from this, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here, and check out my other video down here. And remember, live your best life. See you next time. Bye-bye.